And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my spoiler-filled review of Episode 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. We're kind of talking about the whole season, specifically Episode 7 and that post-credit scene. I'm going to explain what that is, who that is, so let's jump in. Once again, spoilers. Episode 7 has been the culmination of a mixed bag season of the Book of Boba Fett. I know people weren't really happy with the first few episodes because we had that weird time jump where we're doing our backstory. We're going to see where Boba, how he became what he is in the present in this timeline, and so it felt very disjointed. A lot of series are doing this now. When they're building backstory, they spend a lot of time in the backstory of that character. I didn't mind it so much, but it definitely seemed to have a mixed reaction for fans online. Nevertheless, episodes 5 and 6, well, 5 was basically a Mandalorian episode, which I thought was excellent. 6 was then a kind of mixed bag of Boba getting all his friends together to beat the Pike Syndicate. And then episode 7 is the culmination of events that's been building up the whole way through this series to episode 7, which is basically a massive battle with the Pike Syndicate. And how that plays out is we're thinking, oh, well, now what's happened to the Ranger? He's been shot. Are they going to get the reinforcements that we want them to have? And the battle starts out differently because Cad Bane once again pokes his nose in. We think we're going to get that standoff with Boba, and it doesn't quite happen. And everybody sighs and goes, no, we want to see who's going to win. He reckons he can take them. And then the battle starts, and seeing the Mandalorian and Boba Fett in the sky taking out the Pikes, it's a thing I didn't know I wanted to see, but was very cool. Having them in the Mandalorian Season 2 fight side by side I thought was excellent. But so now we have all the friends. We have the giant Wookiee, master, gladiator character. They're all positioned around the city, and I guess it's a plan they didn't quite foresee, but they're being taken by surprise. They're being forced out. We have two characters fall down the rocky landside, which I was very disappointed with because I really like the characters. But the thing I never thought I would see, and there's a thing that I never thought they'd be brave enough to do, was when we had the two I guess you called them droidy cars, but giant mech warriors with shields taking them out, and you just think, oh, how on earth are they gonna survive? This is the last stand. It doesn't matter how strong their armor is. These droids are basically unstoppable. Even the Darksaber seemed to not be able to do that. And so they split up, and you're wondering what Boba... And I totally forgot that Boba was friends with a Rancor. And I didn't know that I wanted to see a Rancor fight, but my goodness. I didn't think they would have the budget or the bravery to be able to do that around the city. I didn't know how that would look, whether it would look good. And it looks excellent. Seeing the Rancor fight with Boba kind of leading it, and the Mandalorian, I was like in geek heaven. I thought it was fantastic. Such a great way to go. Every time the Rancor got injured, I was like, no, because you're immediately on the Rancor's side, because we know from his kind of upbringing and his training that he's kind of a little baby, as the trainer called him, but obviously massive in size. You're on the Rancor's side, and so you don't want the Rancor to get injured, but also you're like, yeah, beat the crap out of the android. So much fun. The score again once is fantastic. That meld of the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett's theme tune, when we had that in episode 5 and 6, I thought it was fantastic. And hearing the score kind of intertwined there in episode 7 was great. And seeing the reunion of the Mandalorian and Grogu, I thought that was a really great touching moment. And we couldn't not have it, but then it was cut short. But then some of the questions you're probably going to be asking yourself was, how is Grogu going to be incorporated? I definitely called it that the Mandalorian's new ship, that's where Grogu's going to be. Instead of the droid being in that little dome place, that's where it's space droid. That's where Grogu's going to be, and we see that clip of them flying off at the end once they've kind of saved the day, which is really fun. But a lot of people have been asking questions, well, what's he going to do now? He has Force, but he's not going to be trained as a Jedi. He's just going to be Force sensitive. He's obviously fairly powerful. I don't know that we'll ever see him with a lightsaber unless he beats someone or he picks it up. I'm a bit sad that we don't get to see him use Yoda's lightsaber, but I am very glad that they're together again. It seems right. It fits really well. And so that was kind of how they left it. It's a hard-fought battle, but they've won the city, and most have survived. Now we get to that end credit, well, the post-credit scene, and we see the Bacta tank in use. And that person in the Bacta tank is Cobb Vanth, Timothy Oliphant's character. We saw him get shot, although there's a line of dialogue earlier that we thought that they suggested that his character actually died, which I was really sad about because I've really liked his character. Thankfully, that's not. If you kind of zoom in, you can see that it is actually him. Well, the hair kind of gives it away. And the guy that is going to treat him with that kind of that Viro blade scalpel is a Thundercat. Thundercat, oh, well, no, his character's name is Thundercat. So we know, or we think we know, that they're going to do something on the shoulder that will probably be mechanical, because we've seen that once before in this series already to save the assassin. So that is what's happening there. So let me know your thoughts below. I thoroughly enjoyed the series in the end. I mean, the last 3 episodes were excellent, but I guess that says something because the last 3 episodes were a mixed bag of characters that we wanted to see together on screen. But also the last 2 episodes, well, episode 5 was basically a Mandalorian episode, which was brilliant. And then 6 and 7 kind of wrap up that whole culmination of the story. But we couldn't have had those episodes without building up that backstory. Maybe the way to go was it was a bit different. I enjoyed it. I know it has a mixed bag of fan interaction with this series, but now I want more because of how they ended it. Does that make sense? Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know which was your favorite episode, who's your favorite character in this so far, and what did you think of this, the Rancor fight. I thought it was fantastic. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.